dirty rat. I smell a rat, like a rat deserting a sinking ship. By the expression we use, you can tell a lot of people don't really like rats. And yet, there are plenty of famous ones in films and TV. Emile and Remy from Ratatouille, Templeton from Charlotte's Web, Rizzo the rat from the Muppets. But I bet no one has heard of Olaf. This is Olaf, a hairless rat. I wouldn't say he's my muse exactly, but I've used him so many times as my rat inspiration in like Stranger Things, Fantastic Beasts, Cinderella, The Walking Dead. I've used Olaf in so many films, I doubt the poor guy is still alive. But I keep coming back to him because it's such a great reference because he's hairless. In VFX, when we're trying to create a creature, we've got to build it from the inside out. So with a furless reference, we can clearly identify where the bones are located, and this is going to inform how we place the joints later on in rigging. By studying the skin movement, we can also identify precisely muscle behavior, fat areas that will need to be simulated, as well as wrinkled areas that could require higher definition and polygon count, for instance. But this video is also a good example of rat facial expression. We've often used Olaf's sneeze or mouth poses while he eats as a reference for modeling blend shapes. And now, thanks to Olaf, we have a rat asset that's ready to come to life. Here's a shot from Stranger Things Season 3. Our job here was to populate this factory basement with an army of diseased rats. I was actually lucky to be on set to help shoot this very scene. Here you're looking at the plate. This is empty factory basement. The puppet and the crumbles that you see will be removed later in post. We use them to indicate how the light will react. It will be very helpful later on as we integrate our CG rats. The first step is to stage the overall choreography. How many rats do we want? Where should they be? Etc. So we went back to Olaf and built on the sneeze movement to create a sick rat performance. Next, we created a rat cluster. So here you're looking at a pack of about 10 rats, and working that way allowed us to duplicate the rat so we could easily populate the basement. Here you can see what we call staging, which is the first iteration that we showed the Duffer's brother. They were stoked, but they felt the rats weren't sick enough. They wanted to see them in extreme pain, like coughing to death, and they also wanted them to explode. Ramping up the degree of suffering was something that we could do in animation. We look at additional references, we came up with new performance. This actually meant spending a lot of time studying dying rats, which wasn't a pleasant experience at all. And what you see here is the second staging that was shown to the Duffer's brother. They were very happy. Now it was time to make the rat skin bubble and explode. The simulation we did was done in Houdini. The rat explosion recipe is a complex combination of skin bubbling, fur burning, and blobs of guts exploding everywhere. It was technically complicated, but artistically, we had to hit the right note and be memorable. So we had to be gory and scary, entertaining but not appalling. And here's the final scene. All totaled, there are 1,200 rats, 50 of them are exploding, all of them hand animated. No rats were harmed in the making of this scene. Olaf doesn't appear in the credits, and yet none of this would have been possible without him.